Welcome to the deep dive.
Good to be here.
So, today we're going to navigate that whole world of young people and social media.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Complex. We've got some really interesting angles for you, all pulled from a conversation on the English Speak podcast.
Right, their episode was called Youth and Social Media Benefits and Challenges.
And we listened to their hosts, Ryan and Emily, lay out their arguments.
So our plan today is really to unpack those core ideas for you.
Not just list them, but really dig into what it all means, for young people now.
Exactly. We want to get to the heart of it. What are the real benefits and what are the serious challenges social media brings?
Okay, let's dive in. Social media, it often gets a bit of a bad rap, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
But the English Speak podcast definitely highlighted some clear upsides. What was one that jumped out at you?
Well, the first thing really was connection. Simple as that.
Connection, how so?
They talked about how it helps young people keep up with friends, family, who live far away, which is huge.
Sure, yeah, keeping those ties strong.
But also building new relationships,
Mhm.
finding people with the same interests.
Ah, right, like if you're into gaming or photography or...
Exactly. Gaming, books, dance, whatever it is, they can find their tribe online. Those communities can be super important.
That makes sense. It really changes how kids socialize, I guess.
It definitely broadens the network, maybe affects the depth sometimes, but it's a shift.
It's hard to imagine it any other way now, really. And it's not just social, is it? They mentioned education, too.
Oh, absolutely. That was another key point. These platforms are becoming like major educational resources.
You mean like learning pages?
Yeah, learning pages, YouTube channels, explaining stuff, apps. There's so much out there.
Okay.
Ryan and Emily actually gave examples, like using YouTube or even Instagram Reels for quick tips.
Quick tips. On what?
Things like math formulas or how to structure an essay. Little bites of learning.
Huh. So it's making information more accessible, kind of democratizing it.
In a way, yeah. It puts
Yeah.
learning tools right in their hands.
Okay, this next part I found really interesting. The idea that just using these platforms helps build skills.
Yes, that's a crucial aspect. It's not just passive scrolling.
Right.
When kids are experimenting on, say, TikTok or Instagram, making their own stuff,
They're learning things.
they really are. Practical skills like video editing, graphic design, creating content.
Wow, okay.
And the host pointed out, quite rightly, that this experience can actually lead somewhere.
Lead where? Like careers.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Think about influencers, vloggers, online entrepreneurs, roles that didn't really exist that long ago.
So the platform is the playground and maybe the launch pad?
Kind of, yeah.
It's both. And beyond those individual skills, it seems social media gives young people a bigger voice, too.
A much bigger voice. That empowerment piece is
But
significant.
empowerment, how?
Well, it gives them a direct line to express opinions on, big issues. Climate change, mental health,
I
equality.
think they really care about.
Exactly. And the podcast shared examples of whole movements, starting from maybe just one post online.
Wow, so it really amplifies their voices and helps them get involved socially and politically.
It definitely increases awareness and potential for involvement, yes.
Okay, so there's a strong case for the bright side. But inevitably.
There's a dark side, too.
Let's get into the challenges they discussed. Addiction seemed like a really big worry.
It is, and it's baked into the design, isn't it? The endless scrolling, the notifications, it's all meant to keep you hooked.
Right, that little dopamine hit.
Exactly. And Ryan and Emily talked about how this leads to, well, too much time online.
Which then affects.
Sleep, concentration, even those important face-to-face relationships. It takes a toll.
And all that time comparing themselves to others online, that must impact mental health too.
Hugely. That was a major point in their conversation.
The comparison trap.
Yeah, constantly seeing these, perfect lives online, often filtered, edited.
Not really real.
Not really real, no. And it can make young people feel inadequate, anxious, depressed, lower their self-esteem. It's linked to eating disorders, too, sometimes.
That's really concerning. And sadly, the online space can also be used for, well, bullying, cyberbullying.
Another massive challenge they flagged. And the anonymity aspect makes it worse.
How does that play out?
Well, people feel bolder, maybe, saying things online they wouldn't say face-to-face. It can be relentless, public, and feel very permanent.
Yeah, because it's out there online, very damaging, especially for
It's
teenagers.
extremely
I
damaging.
mean, beyond those interactions, there are also worries about privacy, right? What kids might be sharing,
Yes, and often without fully grasping the risks.
like sharing location data or personal details.
Exactly. Their location, contact info, photos, they might not understand how that data could be misused.
Mm.
It points to a need for better online safety education.
Definitely. And linked to that is the whole problem of misinformation spreading so fast online.
Another serious issue they brought up, fake news, conspiracy theories, bad health advice.
And young people might not always question it.
Well, they might lack the skills or just the habit of critically evaluating sources before they believe something, or, crucially, before they share it.
Which can have real-world consequences.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've seen the benefits and the serious challenges. Why are young people so drawn to social media in the first place? What did the podcast suggest?
Well, a big part of it is fundamental human need, really. Connection and identity.
Especially during adolescence.
Exactly. It's a time when you're figuring out who you are. Social media offers a space to, explore that
Experiment with different looks, opinions, hobbies.
precisely
Yeah.
and connect with others who get them, who share those interests. It's like a digital workshop for identity.
And then there's the immediate feedback loop, isn't there? The
Well-
likes, the comments.
Ah, yes, that instant
It
validation.
feels good in the moment, right?
It does. It gives you that quick mood boost, that dopamine hit we mentioned.
Right.
But, as they pointed out, relying too much on that external validation can create pressure. Pressure to be perfect online all the time.
Which sounds exhausting and probably not great for self-worth.
It can definitely contribute to anxiety, yeah.
And what about FOMO? Fear of missing out. That feels like a big driver, too.
Oh, absolutely. That constant feeling that if you're not online, you're missing something important, some event, some piece of news.
So you have to keep checking.
It creates that pressure to stay constantly connected, even if it's not always healthy.
And let's be honest, sometimes it's just fun, right? They mentioned entertainment, too.
Definitely. We shouldn't forget that. Funny videos, trends, memes.
The digital playground idea.
Exactly. It's a source of easy entertainment, and that appeals to everyone, not just kids.
Okay, so given all these factors, the good, the bad, the appeal, how can young people actually use social media wisely? Did Ryan and Emily offer advice?
They did, yeah. Some really practical stuff. Setting boundaries was key.
Like time limits.
Time limits, yeah. And having no phone times, like during meals or, importantly, before bed. Simple things, but effective.
Makes sense. And what about what they see? Can they control that?
That's the idea of curating your feed. Being intentional about who you follow.
So unfollow accounts that make you feel bad.
Exactly. And follow ones that are inspiring or educational or just good, healthy fun. It can really change the whole experience.
Taking breaks also came up, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Regular breaks, like a digital detox, even just for a weekend.
A reset button.
Sort of, yeah. Good for mental well-being, helps reconnect with the offline world.
And going back to that misinformation problem, critical thinking is crucial.
Absolutely vital. They stressed developing the habit of fact-checking.
Before you believe it, before you share it.
Yes. Got to question the source. It's a skill we all need, really.
And finally, what about creating a better online space? Can young people help with that?
Definitely. By speaking up.
How?
Reporting cyberbullying when they see it. Offering support to people who seem to be struggling online. Little actions that add up.
It sounds like adults, parents, teachers have a pretty big role here, too. What was the advice for them? Banning didn't seem to be the answer.
No. The conversation leaned heavily towards education over banning.
So teach responsible use instead of just saying no.
Exactly. Equip them with the skills to navigate it safely, mindfully. Don't just try to shield them entirely, because that's often unrealistic.
And communication is key, I imagine.
Hugely important. Creating that open, non-judgmental space where kids feel okay talking about their online lives.
So parents can offer guidance without making them shut down.
Right. Listening is crucial.
And adults need to model good behavior too, right? With their own screen time.
That came up too, yeah. Kids watch what adults do. So parents being mindful of their own habits sets a powerful example.
Good point. And schools, what role can they play?
Integrating digital literacy into the curriculum.
Teaching things like
Online safety, spotting misinformation, understanding the emotional side of social media, giving students those tools formally.
Okay. So wrapping things up, thinking back on everything from that English Speak podcast conversation, it's really clear social media is, well, complicated.
Extremely. It's this powerful tool.
Huge benefits, right? Connection, learning, skills, giving kids a voice.
Definitely. But also serious challenges,
Mm.
addiction, mental health issues, cyberbullying, privacy risks, misinformation.
It really comes down to how it's used, doesn't it? Mindful, informed usage seems to be the key.
They used a really good analogy near the end. Fire.
Fire.
Yeah, fire can be incredibly useful, constructive,
Mm.
or incredibly destructive if you don't handle it right.
I see. It's about balance and awareness.
Precisely. That sums it up really well. We need that balance, that awareness, that education.
That's a really strong image. So, for everyone listening to our deep dive today, maybe take a moment to think about that balance in your own life, your online versus your offline world.
Yeah, maybe ask yourself,
Hmm.
is there one small change you can make to your social media habits?
Something to make sure it's actually serving you, helping you grow, rather than, holding you back.
Think about one of those areas we talked about: connection, information, how you see yourself, and just reflect on its role in your day-to-day.